Brilliant. We're back then. The boys are back.
Back at it again.
Are we? Are we back? We're definitely back.
Well, we're here in the first place. That's a question you want to ask yourself.
That's the one.
Were we really present last time?
Exactly.
Was there an external force working through both of us as we connected on a universal level?
More importantly, are we observing social distancing right now?
Almost.
Almost. Probably off by a metre, but what's a metre between friends? Eh?
Exactly.
There we go. So we're back for episode 2 of Never Mind the Lizards. We're blowing up right now.
Such a good name as well, mate. Never Mind the Lizards.
We're blowing up. I think we've got 40 views.
Dozens of listeners.
27 Twitter followers as well, which on fire, going viral.
Oh yeah, give a shout out to the Twitter.
Shout out Twitter. Shout out.
What's the handle?
At Lizards Never. At Lizards Never.
But if you do search for Never Mind the Lizards, you'll also find us.
100%. Yeah, I've got a great Twitter following. I've had about 3 retweets, mostly by Pat.
My poor followers of my business account, they're like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, man, it's confusing. It's a confusing time. But no, I've been on Twitter, man, and it's been stressful this week with Twitter.
Stressful?
Genuinely, mate. I haven't looked into Twitter before this, and I've kind of picked it up as a platform to promote this podcast, because this is where the meat is, really, if you can call it that. But the Twitter, I'm like trying to generate a couple followers, but I have no idea how to do it. I'm just like, I'm saying thoughts that get pure ignored, but then I look at the tweets that are getting retweeted, and it's like, it's absolutely mental. It's so one-sided. You're either Trump nuts. So my followers are mostly Trump nuts. Shout out Trump nuts. Big shout out Donald Trump.
Do you realise they're going to be listening to this?
Yeah. Big shout out.
Put links to the podcast. Shout out to you nutters.
Yeah, shout out nutters. No, they're our sort of followers at the moment, and
good people.
Good people. Wouldn't slag them off. Wouldn't hurt a fly. But they're sort of so down one track where they think Trump is the Messiah, and he's going to blow open the world conspiracy of the New World Order or whatever, and the QAnon movement and all this stuff, and they think Trump is. And I'm thinking, you think this billionaire President of the United States, but a billionaire for the last 30 years, isn't in on the bullshit? You are. No, you're good people. I'm not going to slag you off on air.
See, I think they're a bit pessimistic, mate. They're just being optimistic. That's what they're doing there.
Maybe.
They're looking at Kennedy. They're thinking, oh no, because he did get his head blown off, didn't he, to be fair?
Yeah. All the greats did.
The greats did, yeah.
Kennedy, Lennon.
Malcolm X,
Martin Luther. Tupac. Biggie.
Mate, we're going to have to do a podcast on Tupac, I reckon.
I think...
Have you looked into his death?
Yeah, well, it's the... well, I have. I have looked into his
Of course you
death.
have.
But they're sort of
when
like...
you should have been studying for an exam. Got a maths exam tomorrow, idiot. You study and you're like, yeah. Into your 5th conspiracy video like Tupac.
First off, fuck your bitch. Nah, it's good. Now Tupac. Now a lot of the greats got whacked, didn't they? But Trump won't get whacked. He's
not great.
He's one of them, and he's not a great. No, I don't think what he is, man. This is what I've seen on Twitter, right? He is just noise. He's distortion. He is just a tool of confusion. He's not. I'm not saying he's evil. I'm not even saying he's aware of what he's doing. But his position is chaos.
Mate, he's aware of what he's doing.
You think?
He's doing.
He's
yes,
78
so
years old.
smart.
Like,
he's so smart.
yeah.
Do you not think? He's switched on. He knows exactly what he's doing.
If he's pretending to be dumb, he's a good actor, though.
Mate, he's definitely pretending to be dumb. Boris Johnson, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. People they try and put them in the same category, those two, but just because they've both got shit blonde hair.
They're sort of eccentric, they've got crazy hair.
Yeah.
I think Boris Johnson he's a lot more appealing to the British palate because he's sort of eccentric, and he's I don't know about Boris Johnson, but Trump for sure is he's a confusing guy to follow because he contradicts himself so much. And listen, I'm not anti-Trump. This isn't. I'm not anti-Trump. As presidents
Yeah,
go,
we don't lose any of you followers out there.
our loyal fan base. Shout out,
With you guys.
shout out Donald Trump.
If you've got to choose between Trump and Hillary, I think me and you would both choose Trump every single time.
Any day, and Biden. You know,
Well, maybe not Biden.
he's just a puppet geezer, isn't he? He's just a little Pinocchio.
Oh, what, you're saying you'd pick
I'd rather
him over Hillary?
No. Oh no. Yeah, probably anyone over Hillary.
Anyone over Hillary?
Anyone over Hillary.
Unless you're really bored, you're like, nah, let the world burn now. You know?
Yeah. Nah.
She would do it.
Anyone over Hillary.
She nearly did.
She nearly did. But she is just. Shout out Hillary Clinton. Don't want to slag her off.
Or any. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, shit. We're slagging off the Clintons again. No, just to clarify, we're saying this for our followers. Do you know?
Yeah.
We're saying this because we want more followers on Twitter.
We're appealing to a fan base now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We've been bought. We've sold out.
Nah.
We love the Clintons.
For sure, no. Trump. Listen, I'd rather have Trump than a sort of a career politician snake person like Hillary Clinton. Or I'd probably have him over Biden as well. But I still think his role in the world is just, it's not been a force for good, really. I think he's promised a lot. He said, drain the swamp. And everyone knew what he meant when drain the swamp. He was like, let's end this political class.
This is the thing. He appealed to the conspiracy theorists. He was on Alex Jones's InfoWars, presenter of InfoWars, if you don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Alex Jones's InfoWars. It was a good interview. 40 minutes, maybe?
Yeah.
He might have been on more than that.
Yeah.
But I saw him on that. And in that moment, I was like, well, either Alex Jones has sold out massively, which he still might have, or, you know, just trying to appeal to that Trump fan base.
Yeah.
Because basically it's over half of America
that
then listen to Alex Jones, even though they might have previously thought he's a bit of a nutter.
Yeah.
So I thought either that's the case, or Trump is, you know, the real deal.
He might be the real. I don't think it. I don't even think he's going to get in this year now. I did. I looked at Biden and thought, there's no way. The guy can't speak. The guy can't speak. There was a video of him holding his wife's hand in one hand and his sister's in the other, and he got them mixed up. He said, "My wife here to my left." I'm thinking, this guy's going to be in negotiations with Putin, Iran, North Korea.
It's all a show, though. They're all puppets, isn't it? They're all puppets.
Dog and pony show.
But let's stick with Trump because we can lead into our conversation, our topic.
Yeah.
Which is masculinity.
Masculinity.
Let me say that again. Masculinity.
Hey, oh shit, dude! I've got the highest voice as well. I've been.
Really, I was talking about masculinity.
Fucking hell!
Men aren't men anymore.
Yeah, man. Listening to last week's podcast back, and I've listened. I think I was about 8 of the views, right? but listening to it back, I've kind of thought I actually sound like a proper mug, like my voice. It's horrible to listen back to.
Yeah, but no one likes listening to their own voice, mate.
True.
Maybe Trump does.
Yeah.
He probably watches his own taste. That's fantastic. What a voice. But I think most normal people cringe. So I don't worry about that, mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. You sound like Joe Pasquale.
Joe Pasquale from Dorset. Yeah, man. Not Dorset. Where are we at now? Not Dorset.
Keep our location last podcast.
Fuck's sake. But anyway, yeah, so toxic masculinity, manhood, all these sort of buzzwords, newspeak buzzwords.
Oh, manhood's not a buzzword, is it? Is it a newspeak?
No, manhood ain't. I don't know why I said that.
Toxic
Toxic masculinity,
toxic masculinity
is a buzzword, and it is newspeak. That term cropped up about 4 years ago, maybe around the Trump election campaign.
To be fair, it was probably popularised around the Trump election, yeah. Because there'd have been loads of people saying, yeah, he's how would you even describe a person who's got toxic masculinity? It's not even used when you directly attack someone. This is the thing. It's a way to describe like behaviour of someone. I've got a definition if you want it.
Hit me.
From Wikipedia. The concept of the concept is a fucking concept. The invention. The concept of toxic masculinity is used in academic and media discussions of masculinity to refer to certain cultural norms that are associated with harm to society and to men themselves.
Well, that's quite vague, isn't it? I mean, like...
That's the best one I could find.
But so they've given you a vague definition there, but without an actual behaviour, saying this is an example of toxic masculinity.
But what do you get from that? If I say to you, toxic masculinity, slapping your girl's ass in public.
Not my girl's ass.
Or someone else's?
Yeah, if I slap someone else's bird's ass. But that's not even masculinity. That's just me being a fucking arsehole.
Oh, but this is the thing.
You know what you're doing. That's like what you're putting down is attributing all these sort of really egregious things to masculinity, and it ain't masculine to hurt women. Not in my opinion. Not in my upbringing.
Protect them. Yeah.
Protect them. For sure. Not be overly. I don't even think you need to be overly nice to them. Just be normal with them. Do you know?
No, don't be overly nice to them.
Nah, but you know what I mean.
No, that's true.
You know them simps, them white knights.
Oh, you're gonna have to explain simp, mate.
Simp,
because that is newspeak.
Simp is newspeak, but it's sort of newspeak from the right man. Simp, yeah, is people that fawn over women and like be really over complimentary to women and rush to their defence when not asked and when not needed. I think in the hopes that those women will favour those men as a sort of as a partner figure, and I think that's toxic masculinity. In all honesty, I think that if anything's toxic, it's fucking simping over women and
complimenting women. Is that what you're saying?
No, not complimenting women.
I'm the Kathy Newman of this fucking show, by the way.
So what you're saying?
So what you're saying there is you shouldn't compliment women.
Nah, I'm talking about being a white knight, rushing to their defence all the time, being a pathetic. Like, in my opinion, that's pathetic. To be honest.
Compliment? If all right, let's give an example.
Right, you're a woman.
I'm a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
in this day and age, you can just identify as a woman, can't I?
Yeah, of course you could, mate.
Right.
But you're a woman and you post a picture of your tits online, yeah? And you say something...
With the nipple, nips out?
Nah, just like really sexually provocative picture of you and your tits out.
Right, because that's important. Because it might be a feminist protest if my nips are out.
And then normal blokes are commenting on there going, oh, she's fit and all this, and wow, nice tits and all that, like normal blokes would.
Right.
And then the simp would go on there and be like, hey, this isn't a space for you to say things like that to the woman. She's, proud and strong and she can get her tits up if she wants to. It's her body, her choice. And I'm thinking, why you're saying this because you're enjoying looking at her tits too. But you're saying this in the hope that she's going to notice your little point. Fucking just like the tits. If you like the tits, the tits. Don't hide behind the guise of I'm here to kind of stick up for her rights. I just think, if you find her attractive, you find her attractive. So actually, I was wrong when I said complimentary of women. I'm very complimentary of women, right? Maybe over complimentary of some women.
Not Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, not her, no. But I think simps are kind of rushing to women's defence when it's not needed and not asked for. And I don't know. Like, what do you think? They annoy me, but.
Okay. You've seen that on Twitter, I'm imagining. Have you seen that on Twitter?
Instagram and Twitter, yeah.
To be fair, mate, there are some women now who market themselves. Have you seen... Oh, what's it called now? It's not For Your Eyes Only.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. For Your Eyes Only. Never heard that before.
What's OnlyFans? What's OnlyFans? There's something that kids are on nowadays.
You wouldn't have heard of this, Elliot, obviously.
Yeah,
you have to be married
man.
But, I've come across this term. OnlyFans. So basically, what I gather is that girls are basically selling pictures of their tits and other body parts. Sometimes feet as well. Have you understood? We won't get into your own sexuality, Elliot, too much. But have you understood that?
No.
The feet hype.
No.
Smelly feet.
Feet. No, I actually haven't. To be fair, I think they're a bit rats, and they feet.
They're ugly. They're ugly as fuck. You ever looked at a foot? You ever looked at your own foot?
we're going to get into
alien.
perversions though, I think, because I think perversions have been driven by sort of making everything taboo, making sort of just not being normally attracted to women, to fit women. It's almost like taboo now. But then again, Victorians used to love looking at ankles. They used to love it. Go down Bournemouth Beach and fucking look at a couple of ankles.
Because that's all they got.
Yeah.
That's all they got.
Yeah. But no, the feet thing is a little bit funny, isn't it? But
yeah, we went off track a bit there.
We did.
Anyway, yeah, so they sell pictures of their boobs, their feet, like private. And it's almost like you pay and you can have kind of a relationship with her as well. Because I think they will then message you, obviously, if you're paying, if you've thrown her 100 quid, throw me 100 quid, I'll write back. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's mental.
So it's attention as well. It's not just the pictures. Because if you think about it, mate, well, I don't know because I never Google things like this, but I'm sure you could get rude pictures from Google. Do you know?
What? On Google?
Yeah.
Rude ones?
Yeah, you wouldn't have heard about this.
Boobs?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
If you write it in, you've been
God.
spelling it Bobs. Look, the Indian blokes.
Fucking hell. Nah,
Send Bobs.
yeah, dude, that's the thing. It's not just, it's the interaction. Men are dying for interaction. Not all men. Hashtag not all men.
No,
hashtag
not us.
These simps, man, they're dying for interaction with women, and it's but I think because they put women on a pedestal all the time. The thing is, right, this is a story that my grandparents used to tell me, like kind of with with playfulness. They used to tell me this story where the blokes used to go and work hard in the week, used to go to the mines and really put a shift in, and they'd be together all week, and they'd be walking home on a Friday after a long week of work with their week's pay, and all the blokes wanted to do was go and piss it up in the pub, and the women would have to run in the streets and beat the men up to get the money off them, right? And the blokes couldn't...
What?
Yeah.
Which is this in?
This is Wales. This is in the valleys in Wales, right? And the women used to come and have to fight their husbands for the money so they could feed their kids. But because these lads, these absolute legends, didn't care at all about their birds.
Or their kids.
They were like, fuck this, boys. We're going to the pubs. And if you made it to the pubs without your missus snatching a couple shillings off you, you were one of the heroes and you was getting the rounds in. And my grandparents used to listen to this, and they would use this like... almost like a rivalry, like a banter thing between men and women. We're the blokes and they're the women and we'll do our thing. But I think that generation were more in love. They're more in love than ours. I think that the fact that there was a division between men and women and blokes didn't put women on the pedestal all the time, I think that actually I don't know, I kind of think that, I'm not saying that particular thing was healthy, but
beating your husband up?
Yeah. But I don't know what my point is. But I think men used to not put women on pedestal. That's what I'm trying to say. And women used to have to, in the same way that males now have to really compete for female attention. I think females used to have to do it for males, and I think there was a more of an equal share of, trying to attract each other.
Do we have to compete though, or is it the internet, mate? Is it the fact that there's just so many birds on the internet, and it's almost like there's a really hot girl in the pub, right? And she's kind of there looking very nice, and whatever. And there are loads of blokes all trying, to talk to her or whatever. In the pub, most of the men, wouldn't go up to her because they'd be like, "Well, this is a bit weird. She might be a bit intimidated."
Yeah.
But online, especially if you can just have like a fucking picture of an egg as your profile picture, men just go for it.
Yeah, well, men are ultra conservative in public. I'm sure it'd be nice to hear a bird talk about this, but generally, blokes are a bit scared. Like even when I was like, I used to be in the army or whatever, so this was sort of hyper masculine, and blokes, it would take a lot of courage for them to go up to a girl and be like, do you want my phone number? Do you want to go dancing?
Really?
Whatever. Even then, they'd have to be real pissed up and really sort of leery and laddish to get the nerve to do this. I think that's sort of a British thing though, isn't it? We're a little bit like tight-laced. I think in America they're a little bit more, hey, do you want to go for a date? They're a little bit more like...
Do you reckon?
Apparently so. Apparently that's what American birds say.
What? The American men just go up and...
They're a little bit more forward with... advances in person, whereas British blokes, I think, it takes a bit of Dutch courage to sort of work up to speaking to women. But online, you could just send them a pic of your willy and then be like, what do you think of that? It's just an out of context cock flying through your DMs, man.
Has that ever worked? Has a fit Instagram model ever received a picture of a random bloke's dick? No picture of his face, just his willy. And she's gone...
Can't have worked.
She's gone, actually, I'm going to give him a shot.
Can't have worked. Can't have worked.
Mate, it's just made me think of that programme. Have you seen Naked Attraction?
Yeah,
oh my God!
But that's like, I mean, that's just lowest common denominator TV, that's dog shit TV. Interesting, I watch it. When it's on telly, I'll go, ooh, I watch it with my missus, and she kind of, but she, you know, it is just dog shit television, and I don't think an out of context willy is enough normally to start a relationship with someone. It might be with some people, I don't know. I doubt it.
Yeah, you can't judge, mate.
Mine probably is. That's how I met my wife. Just, but it wasn't through the internet. You see, it was just walking through the corridor and just look at that.
So you got kicked out of sixth form as well. Anyway, that's a different story. So with those jokes, because they're obviously jokes, by the way, people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Is that toxic masculinity? If you're a feminist listening to us having this conversation now, are you seething inside? You're like, these toxic males talking about women. I don't think
we talk about blokes though. We're slagging off blokes, are we?
No, we're slagging off.
Shagging blokes.
That's a Freudian slip. We're slagging off blokes, yeah, and simps.
Yeah.
We're slagging off the simps. We're slagging off people who feminists would think are doing the right thing. Do you know?
I don't think they do though.
Deep down, you don't think they do?
No.
No?
I don't think a feminist goes...
Do you think that's why they're angry? That's an idea. Do you think that's why feminists are fuming? Because men have just ended up just putting women on a pedestal, like you said. And actually, there's no fun in that. No one likes that. They like the chase.
Well, the thing is, though, mate, is that... Right, I know some real good-looking girls. And I know some not so good-looking girls.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not even going to make this point. Forget that. But I think the women that are really, really attractive, they kind of don't hold much currency in feminism because they don't have a victim status. Because they're kind of like, men like me, they kind of treat me nice. That like I can attract like a decent quality male, right? You know, as I think some women go like, fucking men, all I'm getting attention from is purple-headed fucking allies, you know what I mean? Other men are idiots.
Yeah.
And I kind of think like maybe your vision of men are skewed because you look at, you know, you weren't, no, that's just mean. Forget what I'm trying to say.
Go for it. We'll take it with a pinch of salt.
I think take it with a pinch of salt, right? But if you're super attractive as a female, are you as likely to be mega feminist? And I'm not talking about...
Well, definitely not. We can just look at feminists.
Yeah, I'm not talking about like celebrity feminists that are obviously furthering their career, like Emma Watson and fucking whoever decides to jump on the bandwagon. I'm talking day-to-day people that you meet in the street. If you see a really hot bird, what's the chances of her being a feminist? Lower, I think, than if you see a sort of...
Certainly a modern day feminist. If you asked her, are you a feminist? She might kind of, like a lot of men, do you know? Be like, well, yeah, of course I'm a feminist because I believe in equal rights, but...
Yeah, I believe in that.
Well, yeah.
So, when my wife was pregnant, and then... So the biggest row me and my wife ever had, right? And I remember it now because it was so stupid, right? So stupid. She was just pregnant. She was about a month into being pregnant and she was having a bit of anxiety about it. She was like, oh, do you know what? I feel like my life's changing. I can't like do what I normally do. My clothes are starting to not fit. I'm feeling a bit puffy and swollen. I'm a bit scared of giving birth and all this.
Yeah.
And I said a real stupid thing. And I said, look, it can't be that hard because I know idiots that have given birth, right? So don't worry about it. We've all got born. And not all of our mums are superheroes, you know?
Right, okay.
Shout out, mum, you are a superhero.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I can see how she was a bit upset about
that. Oh, dude, she went, absolutely mental. Like you have no idea. And you know what? She was dead right. She was dead right. And over the course of her pregnancy and the birth and just being a mother, I kind of was like, wow, women are. When women are put in that position, they can really be strong, man. They can be stronger than men in a lot of respects, and that in that sense, it made me a feminist because I thought not only are women like equal, they're fucking better in a lot of ways, but
definitely.
But so in that respect, and I've had a daughter as well, so of course I want equal rights for women, and I want men to treat women nice. I don't want to, but you can't fucking like demonise men and demonise being a man.
Well, this is the thing, and I think that's what the term toxic masculinity kind of does, doesn't it?
Mm.
Because it infers that being masculine is now somewhat toxic. It's newspeak. It's very Orwellian. Do you know? It kind of plants into your subconscious mind. If you say toxic masculinity,
yeah,
masculinity can be toxic. You know,
yeah.
You'd never hear someone say toxic femininity, would you?
Never.
Never
Ever.
ever.
Divine femininity. You'd hear, like even in my head, the concept of being feminine is like goddess-like. I think of like Venus and fucking Mother Mary. I think of ultra sort of mothering and tender and caring, and femininity is beautiful, but I think masculinity is beautiful as well. We need it, mate.
Yeah, of course we need it.
We need it. And I don't think we need...
And the birds need it too.
Yeah. They fucking love it.
No, of course we need it. Yeah, we need the balance. It's the yin and yang, isn't it?
For sure, dude. Obviously the lines have been blurred because in my age, so it is a theory I've had, yeah. So like, much of popular culture is driven by Silicon Valley sort of nerds, sort of Google execs, and people that run social media platforms. They do drive culture because they let the hashtags trend that they want to trend.
Yeah, of course.
They basically they've put themselves in a position where they can manipulate society into moving in a certain direction. Which is why often you'll see things on Twitter that don't actually transpire into real life conversations, because you just think the conversations online are completely manipulated to further one agenda. But these lads that get into these sort of, they're maybe a little bit more geeky. They weren't the sporty boys at school. They probably weren't the boys that were absolutely rolling in minge. They were the lads that were, maybe into the computers and sciences and all this, which is good.
Yeah.
But now they've got a position where they can go, actually, fuck those lads that used to play high school football, and fuck those boys that get all the birds.
Mate,
Imagine, though...
Do you think Mark Zuckerberg, or who's the bloke that runs Twitter, what's his name? Jack something. Do you think they've got chips on their shoulder, really? Do you think they're that bothered? They're like
We've all got chips on our shoulder, mate.
Yeah, but they're multi-billionaires.
Who cares, mate? It doesn't matter. Fucking hell, they're only early 40s, late 30s.
Yeah.
Mate, we're nearly there. We still carry things from our childhoods. It doesn't matter how much money we earn. You're always going to have viewpoints shaped by your upbringing. If you're in school thinking, God, those rugby lads are a bit much, or you're going, God, how does he get her? He's an arsehole. He bullies lads in the change rooms. How does he get a bird like that?
Yeah.
If you're like that, 30 years later and you've got a bit of money and you can kind of influence thought, maybe those... I don't even think it's like they're conscious of this manipulation, but they'd I reckon they'll probably be biased against sort of traditional lads.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're the perfect puppets for it. I think it goes a lot deeper than just Mark Zuckerberg and whatever.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And there's definitely something to it, and they're definitely the perfect
vehicle
for it, of course. Yeah, because they're very smart, and obviously, they've probably got a chip on their shoulder. If they're not lizards, obviously. If they are human, then they've probably got big chips on their shoulders. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So, let's say they... Right, let's not even say they don't... Let's say they don't have the chips on their shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
But, culture, for some reason, has tended now towards looking after looking after the victims. I put that in little quotation marks. The victims of society, which are sort of people that don't conform with normal gender roles. And fair enough, if you feel you've been victimised, you probably were victimised in school. Thinking about some of the lads that weren't as laddish and were a little bit more reserved and shy, that they weren't treated too nice. But I don't think by a lot of the more